Indonesia. When I say Indonesia, a lot of Australians will think about Bali because a lot of them flock to Bali. And I don't blame them. Bali is fantastic. So fantastic that a lot of digital nomads, including myself, like to be there because, well, it is amazing. But I can tell you, Jakarta and Yogyakarta and many of the other islands are amazing too. One thing that's also amazing is the SIM cards there in Indonesia. Not for your collection, unlike me, where I have some SIM cards behind me. No, it's for saving money. If you were to use your Australian SIM card or any other SIM card that's not from Indonesia, in Indonesia, you will be paying extremely high roaming fees, which will be a shame. Money that you can spend in Indonesia, which is probably cheaper than the country you're already from. So getting yourself an Indonesian SIM card will save you a lot of money, and luckily for you, mobile data rates in Indonesia are very low and so are SIM cards. So in this video, I will tell you everything you need to know about SIM cards here in Indonesia. So let's get started, shall we? Hi, it's Ooredoo for Phone Travelers here, where we talk about everything related to traveling with your phone, such as buying a SIM card in Indonesia. If videos like this sound interesting to you, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Let me just get you a quick overview, or a brief, I would say, for everything you need to know about Indonesian SIM cards, so you can get the information here already quickly. Now, in Indonesia, you actually have 4 main operators right now, which are Telkomsel, Indosat, Ooredoo, Hutchison, Axiata, and Smartfren. These are the SIM cards that are easily accessible for travelers, I have to say. There are many more, but these are easy to get. SIM cards range from 5,000 Indonesia rupee all the way up to 100,000. 2 SIM cards are sold for 75,000 IDR all the way up to 200,000 IDR. Know that SIM card registration is mandatory, and there has been some new registration as well, also called IMIE registration. We'll talk about that later too. SIM cards are sold at various airports, including the one at Denpasar, Bali, and Jakarta, and 2 other more that I'm showing you on the screen. 5G is available to prepaid customers, so you can enjoy fast speeds and do it with air quotes because they're still slow, and the plans over here are generous and affordable. So that's just a quick overview of what you need to know about Indonesian SIM cards. If you think, well, I already know what I need to know and, well, you're gonna leave, that's okay. Like the video and we'll see you in the next one. But, you know, there's much more to talk about, so let's continue with this video. Now, I actually mentioned a mobile operator earlier, and that was Indosat Ooredoo Hutchison. And you may have been to Indonesia before or heard about SIM cards and operators here before. You think that's not a name that I'm fully familiar with. I'm familiar with Indosat, I'm familiar with Ooredoo, I'm familiar with Hutchison, also known as 3. That's true. Well, Ooredoo and Indosat have been a company for a long time that merged and they were called IM3 Ooredoo. That's true, but that Hutchison part is quite new. That's because the 3 companies, or now officially 2 companies, are now becoming 1 company, meaning that they are becoming Indosat Ooredoo Hutchison. I would just refer to them as Indosat because that name is way too long to keep saying that throughout this video. Now, officially, 3 Indonesia is still gonna be a brand or operator in Indonesia. Well, I should say brand because they're gonna be a separate brand for now, but honestly, you better off going with Indosat anyway because they have better plans. They are good, or way better than 3 itself, and well, it will be more difficult to get yourself a 3 SIM card in the future. Maybe not in the near future, maybe in 2 years, maybe in 3 years, but yeah, that's why. And as I also mentioned in the brief, there are many more SIM cards available, but these are easy to get or easy to register because of the registration requirements here in Indonesia, which we'll talk about later on as well. There's a lot of notes already. Let's just get started. Yeah, what we need to know. Well, the operators we are already aware of. Like I said, we have Telkomsel, Indosat, Axiata, and Smartfren. How much do SIM card cost by these operators? Well, Telkomsel is very easy. You can get the basic SIM card for 5,000 IDR Indonesian rupee. I have some conversions on the screen in Australian dollar, US dollar, and British pound. In the case of Axiata, they will look more expensive, starting from 21,000 IDR and 46 and 68,000, but these include starter packs and perks that I'm also showing you on the screen at the moment. And in the case of Smartfren, they actually have many starter packs if you buy a SIM card with a plan, but these are starter packs that you can easily buy, starting from 16,000 IDR all the way up to 100,000 IDR. So what about tourist SIM cards? Are tourist SIM cards sold here in Indonesia? Yes, they are. In the case of Telkomsel, you can get the Telkomsel Prabayar Tourist card, something like that. My Indonesian is still, well, lacking, I would say. Maybe for 100,000 IDR, you get 25 gigabytes of data and 25 on-net/international minutes to G20 countries. And when they say G20 countries, it also includes all of the European Union. In the case of Ooredoo, you have these 2 options that I'm showing you on the screen. for 75,000 IDR and 110,000 IDR with generous perks. And with Smartfren, we have the Smartfren 2 with pack. 100,000 IDR, you get 15 gigabytes of data, 15 gigabytes of nighttime data, and data for select apps. Now you might be thinking, well, all these higher prices, they intimidate me. 50,000, 100,000 IDR. Well, as we already showed, the currency conversions are quite, well, low. The Indonesian rupee is not really worth much rupiah. But let's talk about mobile data rates here in Indonesia, because they are actually quite low. In fact, with the average cost of 1 gigabyte of data being, let's say, 7,000 IDR, I have the correct digit on the screen, which is about 46 USD dollar cents. It's on the lower end. I think there are about 50 to 60 countries where the average cost of 1 gigabyte of data is lower than 1 USD if converted to USD, of course. And in the case of Asia, Indonesia is the 11th cheapest if we exclude the Middle East, and the 28th cheapest all over the world when we look at cable.co.uk's leaderboard, which included 230 different entries/countries/territories. So Indonesia is doing very well. So where to get yourself an Indonesian SIM card? Well, you're better off going to the official stores of the mobile operators because of SIM card registration requirements. We will talk about that a little bit later. But you're also able to get them from convenience stores on the streets and of course at several airports, including the one at Denpasar, Bali, and Jakarta, Sukarno something airport. Luckily, my editor can help me out and show you the airports on the screen so I don't embarrass myself trying to pronounce these lovely names. Like I mentioned, SIM card registration is mandatory like almost all countries in Asia, meaning that you have to present your passport when you buy a SIM card and show it to the salesperson. Some operators allow you to register yourself with the official apps of the operators, but it doesn't really always work with foreign passports. So that's why I say go to the official stores, will be easy, and that way you don't overpay. Same at the airports. Well, they will only sell you the 2 SIM cards for the prices I listed earlier, but they are more expensive than going with regular Indonesian SIM card and then buying a plan which are often more generous. Unless you really need the international calls, then they are of good value. Okay, so what about speeds? I know that most watches really care about speeds. So would I. That's why I do a lot of speed tests. Well, which Indonesian mobile operator is the fastest right now? According to the speed test market insights of Q3, Telkomsel is the fastest with a median download speed of 30 megabits per second, followed by Indosat with 26 megabits per second, Axiata with 24 Mbps, and Smartfren with around 20. So there's not a real big spread between the 4 operators, but the speeds are on the slower end, I have to say. Okay, I say that, but the global mean, or the global median, sorry, is around 30-31 megabits per second, so they're doing alright. But compared to, let's say, Australia or some European countries, Indonesia is still behind. On the screen you'll see a list of the 5 countries with the fastest speeds in Indonesia, which are Makassar, Jakarta, Bekasi, Tangerang, and Depok. So my digital nomads in Denpasar, Bali, you won't have the fastest speeds all over the country, unfortunately. So what about coverage? Oh, first, is 5G NR available to prepaid customers? As mentioned in the summary, yes it is, but it's not available with all operators or not all the plans. Some plans are, the more expensive one, then you get 5G NR for free. Some others you have to buy an add-on if you want to, but then it's just up to 4G LTE, which is, decent, and 5G NR is not that fast in Indonesia yet. Maybe in the future, but then you have to go to, let's say, Singapore if you want to experience nice and fast 5G. So which mobile operator has the best 4G LTE coverage in the country? Well, according to the Open Signal report of July 2022, Smartfren has the best 4G LTE availability with a score of over 98%, followed by Indosat with 97, Telkomsel with 95, and Axiata with 94. But that's just availability. What if you're in a region or an area where 4G should be available? Can you always get 4G? Well, that's when we look at the coverage experience to see if you're actually experiencing 4G LTE. Then we can see that Telkomsel performs the best with a score of 8.7 on a 10-point scale, followed by Axiata with 6.4, Indosat with 6.3, and Smartfren with 5.1. So even though on paper Smartfren has the best 4G LTE availability, about half of the time you won't even have 4G LTE at all. So yeah, sad. Okay, so which mobile operator here is the best in Indonesia? Well, I actually recommend 2, which are Telkomsel and Indosat. Telkomsel has the best coverage and the fastest speeds in general in the country. So you won't be doing anything wrong when you go with Telkomsel. if costs are an issue, even though we're talking about like usually up to 1 to 3 USD difference, you can consider Indosat, which still has extensive coverage and relatively fast speeds, and they are cheaper than Telkomsel for now. But yeah, those are the two I actually recommend. What about XL, Axiata, and Smartfren? There are some good deals, but you will, performance-wise, you will not really be happy, especially if you go to rural Indonesia. So that's that. Okay, so let's talk about eSIMs, which, well, it seems like I really love to talk about eSIMs because they are the future, or at least I believe they're the future. Well, right now only one mobile operator offers eSIM to prepaid customer, or actually they offer eSIMs at all, at least at the time of recording, which is Smartfren. Smartfren is the only one offering to prepaid customers, all the others do not. But there are some travel eSIMs that you can consider. Well, I have to tell you that in all cases, the local operators will be cheaper than, all these travel eSIM providers, but you can consider them if you do not want to deal with SIM card registration because you don't, well, you care about your privacy, or you just don't want to bother with, buying a SIM card. You just want to arrive in Bali and be connected instantly. So we have these 4 options. I'll go to them quickly, but if you go to ptw.link/Indonesia-eSIM, you have an in-depth guide where I talk about all the eSIMs are available and which one use which networks and which one is the best XYZ. Well, the first one I recommend is Indotel by Airlo, which is very popular, and a lot of phone tourist readers have been, especially Australian ones, have been getting them lately and have gotten positive feedback. 4 different options: 1 GB for 7 days, 3, 5 and 10 for 30 days. There's a link in the description where you can get it, but with ptw.link/Indonesia-Airlo, you can get it as well, and you'll get the best deals available right now. And the second one that I recommend is the ones from Holafly, where they recently started to introduce unlimited data for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 60 and 90 days, where you get truly unlimited data, or unthrottled unlimited data in Indonesia, which the local operators, I think none of them on top of my head offer unlimited data plans. All good. How to get it? ptw.link/Indonesia-Holafly. Use code PhoneTravelWiz and get 5% off your order. If you're planning on visiting multiple Asian countries, so you go from Indonesia to Malaysia, not Brunei, Cambodia, Laos or something like that, you can get the Airlo Asia Link eSIM, which is the little brother of the Eurolink. Very popular, very good. Where you have 6 different options to be used in 40 different countries that I'm already showing you on the screen, at least the options, and it can be used in most Southeast and East Asian countries. Very amazing. And go to ptw.link/Asia-Airlo and you can get yourself the eSIMs with the best deals available right now. So that's what you needed to know about eSIMs. Let's talk about the plans offered by each operator. Well, not all of them, because then this video will be even longer than it already is. I decided to select, I think, all the combo plans, or at least one combo plan offered by all these operators, so that you can get an idea of what is offered here in Indonesia. Of course, all the prices will be listed in Indonesian rupiah. If you want to see the up-to-date currencies, make sure to go to ptw.link/wise-converter, where you can see the up-to-date conversions. Let's start with Telkomsel, because that's the largest operator here in Indonesia. Where I chose the Combo Sakti. We have these 3 options. For 70,000, 90,000 or 116,000 IDR, you get 15, 20 or 28 gigabytes of data, some generous data allowances for some social media apps, including Facebook, or some games, Instagram, some music apps, and actually a lot of perks, I have to say, very good. Some local minutes and local SMS. To activate these plans, dial *363 and the pound key or hashtag, depending on how you know this key. With Indosat, you have the Freedom Combo packages, one of the, I think, 7 or 8 different packages they offer. I think they even have 12. Or was that Smartfren? I don't really remember on top of my head right now. Dial *123 pound key to activate these plans. Well, I'm not gonna go to them individually, but the prices range from 27,500 IDR all the way up to 280,000, giving you 3 gigabytes of data all the way up to 45. Nighttime data allowance can be used between 1 AM to 6 AM in the morning/night, depending on how you refer to it. You get unlimited on that minutes, and we say unlimited because it's actually up to 5,000 minutes. Still a lot, but not really unlimited, of course. And of that minutes to be used for the other operators, so let's say calling to Telkomsel, ranging from 5 minutes all the way up to 30, and the validity for 30 days most of the time, and 90 for the most expensive one. Oh, and because 3 is becoming part of that, Indosat over the Hutchison brand, you can also use the on-net minute to call to 3 numbers as well. 3 Indonesia, of course. Then we have XL Axiata with the VIP packets combo plus, and I probably missed some word there. And if you're already aware of Indonesian plans, you know that there is a regular version as well instead of the VIP one. Well, I chose the VIP one, which is 10,000 IDR more expensive than the regular one, which is about 70 USD. Why would you go with the VIP one? Well, because Axiata guarantees that if there is network congestion or some slowness going on there, that you will have a priority over those who have the regular plans, meaning that your speed should be consistent compared to somebody who has the regular plan for only 70 USD cent more. Yeah, that's a very good upgrade, I would say. Then we have these 5 options, starting from basically 70,000 IDR all the way up to 250,000, thinking about up to 72 gigabytes of data. Local data is, well, I'm not going to explain it in this video because it will be too long. Social data for select apps and some minutes, all valid for 30 days. And then we have the last one, Smartfren, which is the worst performing operator right now. Then we have the super quota volume based plans, also combo plans, starting from 5,000 IDR all the way up to 1 million IDR, giving you 500 megabytes all the way up to 200 gigabytes of data. Yes, valid for, well, a year basically in that case. Nighttime data to be used between 1 and 5. The social data is only for Line and WhatsApp. Unlimited on-net minutes with validities ranging from 3 days all the way up to 360, close to a year. So that's what you need to know about Indonesian SIM cards. When I mentioned earlier that the data plans are generous, I really meant it. You know, they gave 200 gigabytes of data for 1 million IDR, which I think is like 70 USD on top of my head, something like that, which, well, if you look at it like that, 70 sounds expensive, but you get 200, it can be used for a full year. But you will most likely not stay there for a full year because, well, your visa won't be valid for that long, or you just do visa once. I don't know. But yes, SIM cards are cheap. 2 SIM cards are okay. Data plans are reasonably priced, and the data allowances are amazing. So you should get yourself an Indonesian SIM card. If you think like SIM card registration, F there, I don't want to deal with that. Get yourself an Airalo or Holafly 12 eSIM. Links in the description, and make sure to use code PhoneTravelWiz if you get the Holafly one. Which SIM card or eSIM are you gonna go with? Are you gonna go with the best Telkomsel, or are you gonna go cheap because, well, you really want that 200 gigabytes of data? You're gonna go with Smartfren and stay in, let's say, the big cities, Jakarta, and, well, not explore the jungles because you know that you have no coverage there. Let me know in the comments down below. That's it for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.